what it's like. To be me.
One, two, three. Hey, friend. Welcome to Dare to Ask. How you holding up?
If you don't know, that's okay, because we're going to get into some questions and try to get that together with you today.
Yeah.
So I know initially we tried to get y'all a little breakdown when y'all got the little preview of Dare to Ask. And we talked about that was going to be just a safe space. We all get together and talk about the questions of life that basically a lot of people ain't got that space to have.
Yeah.
We talked about that. A lot of people don't have that. So when y'all send in your questions, please know that it's going to be anonymous. We won't say your name, but we will read your question, and then we'll go ahead and answer it.
Send them questions, because some people be having good questions, and I ain't got all the answers, but sometimes it make me use my brain, and I love that.
And we want to know.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Ain't no way we can figure things out in life unless you ask the questions.
There's something you know or something that you were going to ask may help someone else, because they probably got the same question.
Absolutely.
And we're going to jump right into it.
And by the way, y'all, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like.
Like, comment, subscribe. Okay?
Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. And don't be scary with your questions neither. Go and send them in, whatever they are, because, we want to know. We want to know.
Yeah.
We're going to answer them.
Right.
Okay, I got some of y'all were asking some questions, so I do want to answer one thing. I know y'all had personal questions for me that had to do with like my addiction, how I got over and I got sober.
Right.
So we'll do a separate episode on that.
Okay. Cool.
Because we want to make sure that we address that. That's going to take more time than that's just like a little. We don't want to just go ahead and rush through that. We had a few questions on that, so we don't want to do that. But we had other people that had kind of like questions they wanted kind of now. But we'll do a little snippet of that one on a side episode. But just so that y'all knew. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so our first question is, do I believe that it is necessary to have a father in the home to create a healthy balance for children? Do you?
I do believe that. I actually do believe that. I know we had talked, before.
Personally
about it. And so I do think that in today's world, there's a lot of toxic parents, right? But if we were doing it how we were supposed to,
amen,
in the right way, what we would do is we would be married first, because we found a good partner, or our partner found us. We'd have a great partner. Once we had a great partner, we'd get married, we'd be with them, and then we'd have children. And then we wouldn't have to worry about, figuring out the person once we have a kid.
And you know what each other is like. Because I think 100%. A lot of times when people have children, i.e. me, have children, not necessarily like you don't like the person, but because you didn't really spend time to get to know the person. When you have kids, some of the things that you have lined up in your mind when it comes to your children and what they have in their mind, or what they've seen or what you've seen, those differences make a difference. And so not all times are fathers bad, but I think sometimes the lack of understanding or even just seeing it can play a part in your own children's lives.
100%.
Their lack thereof or your lack thereof. You know what I mean? So I think for me personally, good fathers. And when I say good fathers, that doesn't always mean biological. Sometimes you have to redo it. Sorry. But sometimes you have to redo it, and you have to find someone for you who loves your children as well and bring a certain safety to your home.
I agree. Because you're the person who's making that home.
Yeah.
And it's your responsibility to create a stable and
comfortable environment.
Absolutely. So that they can grow. Because mind you, when we're nurtured, we grow. there's nothing that we wouldn't do, you know, and we are to our best, we're our best self. But if we're not nurtured, you can tell we can be off the walls and doing everything else, and that just reciprocates down to our children.
Yeah.
So it ain't nothing good that's going to happen in the process.
Yeah.
So I found that, yeah, 100% I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I also don't agree with toxicity staying in the family either. So if we're seeing that happen, I need to put some boundaries. If you can't respect them boundaries and get it together, I'm going to have to cut ties for the time being and do what I need to do, because these kids are going to be affected. And I learned that the hard way. But
and a lot of people stay for the children when they stay for themselves. Like, let's be honest. They stay for themselves because of the comfortability that they have there, but their children will suffer.
100%.
And if we aren't mindful of that, then as moms, I'll say as a mom, if I'm not mindful of that, what partner I choose, you know, that will affect my children too. I grew up with a stepfather, and not that he was the worst thing in the world, but when it came to me, things were different, you know, and he taught me a lot while also breaking me in other places.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of them things where you almost find yourself managing it versus it being natural, you know. But I think good fathers are
essential.
Yeah, whether that be biological or not.
100%. 100%. One of the questions somebody asked me was, what was it like being an addict? And how was that in my life? And that's where I was one of the toxic people. So, and that was a question we had from someone. So we might interject. That was one of the questions somebody had. What was it like being an addict? And there were times to where I was a functioning addict. I was able to work. I was able to do that. I wasn't like crazy off the walls, but I definitely was not the healthiest individual that I could have been. I was in my own world trying to
navigate.
Yeah. And it was due to trauma and me trying to I couldn't control the environment around me. So I was trying to control the emotions and the thoughts I had, right? And I used the drugs to do that. Your kids and your friends are affected, and your family, and everything is breaking down. So now I'm using that to help pacify.
Right.
So now I can tell you from the toxic one, I wouldn't say, and I guess there's levels of toxic, right?
There are.
And that point, that's where the boundaries get placed. And when those boundaries get placed, if you have healthy people, like I know I had you there, that's where the person's able to face the reality of things and then safely get through it.
Yeah. I think a lot with our friendship, you going through your addiction never made me see you different. Like, I never seen you as like a bad person or anything like that. But I also kind of know what you've experienced, so that helped me not be judgmental. I'm not. But I also kind of know what you've experienced. Your addiction never made me see you different. Like, I never seen you as like a bad person or anything like that. But I also kind of know what you've experienced, so that helped me not be judgmental. I'm not really judgmental anyways.
I was going to say, you're not even like that though.
But sometimes when you don't understand something, when you don't understand why a person would do something, it can make you unintentionally judgmental.
Oh, 100%.
And it'll make you say things to people like, just get over it, just do it. And I think for us, it was those long conversations of us crying and laughing that was like, you can do better, or it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Being able to be present and also honest. Because honesty played a big part in you going through your addiction and me still being your friend. Because a lot of people leave their friends. Like,
100%.
They don't want to deal. But for me, I never seen you as like this terrible person. So it was like, okay, you're struggling. And like, I love you so much that I want to see you thrive. So while you struggle, I'll just love you through it. But that doesn't mean that I took everything that came.
Correct. I was just going to say,
it was a lot of
we
things.
had a lot of non-negotiables.
Yeah, it was like, no,
she was not going.
I'm not going to go for it.
Like, there was a lot of stuff, and I'll tell you like one of them. So at one point I was super like, I'm not going to cry.
It, ain't he?
I am not going to cry. Ooh. He's so good.
Yeah.
I was at a really bad place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had gotten to the point to where I kind of gave up on myself at that point. I was kind of just like,
yeah.
it's always going to be this way. So now I'm just like, I kind of came to terms with that because I had prayed like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I'm a Christian trying to get sober.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's hard.
Yeah.
You fighting. Yeah.
Yeah. You got all type of devils that you trying to fight. You a Christian trying to be sober.
Yeah.
You trying to walk it right. And then for some reason, you can't get it right. You ain't finding no deliverance, because there's a difference between being delivered and just not using, because we can swap it out for something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hadn't found either one, not swapping it out or being delivered.
Yeah.
So I was headstrong in it. And I remember one day I lied to you.
I knew you were finna say that.
I lied to
I
you.
knew you were finna say that.
Because I felt I cared so much about how I knew you loved me. I would never, ever, ever doubt that.
Yeah.
But I hated myself so much where I was at.
Yeah. That you were willing to hide it, or you tried to hide
mask
it.
it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I was like, don't lie to me.
Do not lie to me.
Like at this point, we done seen the
Oh
ins
my
and
God, it
outs
was
of each
so
other.
bad.
And I was like, to me, it's okay if it's terrible and it's all going to hell right now. But if you want honest and genuine, you got to give me honest and genuine, even when it's ugly. And that doesn't mean that I was letting her just do whatever to me. You know, there was time, well, she wasn't like that anyways, but you know, there was just times where we had to sit down and have one of those, like, nudge a friend.
Absolutely.
It died.
We gonna be good.
Yeah. But outside of that, you know, we still remain friends. It was those hard conversations, though, I think, that kind of just make you feel unjudged, make you feel like I messed up right now. You know, I am making poor choices, but like, you're not judging me, and you also are holding me accountable
100%.
because I got to a place where I won't take you to get it. No.
I mean, flat out,
I'm
I ain't
not.
taking you to.
I used to ask her, where you trying to go? Where you trying to go? And she was trying to finagle me.
Woo!
And when I realized she was trying to finagle me, I had to say it because I was angry about it. Like, you don't have to lie to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think being an addict, watching you go through your addiction and find sobriety has been a beautiful experience. It's been hard, but like beautiful far as like being able to see the transformation or see the change happen, and to know that who I knew you were before.
Absolutely.
Like, oh wow, you were in it.
Yeah.
It's still who you are now. Like,
yeah.
it's because the soul's still there. Sometimes people lose their soul because they don't have nobody to love them through
Oh,
it.
that's so good.
They do.
Yeah.
They lose that part.
And I'm gonna tell you, like, I don't think I would have gotten sober had I not had, and there was only,
I know, because you strict. She run a tight ship.
you hear me?
She run a tight ship, okay?
And even past that, there wasn't many people that could be in that space with me, nor were there people that would be in that space with me.
Yeah.
So it was both sided.
Yeah.
Right. And at the same time, I'm gonna tell you, it was genuine love and genuine care and
Understanding.
yes.
It was
To be able to see a person past what they're currently in.
Yeah.
So and that was another question was somebody asked, somebody had asked, do I believe people
right here. Do people believe you? Is that it?
Do
you believe everyone deserves to be forgiven?
It was that one, and then maybe I put it on a different. Maybe I put it. It was probably on my phone.
Okay.
But somebody was asking something. Do I believe people deserve second chances? That's what it was. Do I believe people deserve second chances? And I said, and I'm absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
With if they are doing the steps that they need in order. I mean, I believe everybody deserves a second chance, but to be in that space with you, you know, to be like that, I only got those chances because I was willing to do those work. And and let me, and I guess I kind of sidestep on that. I'm gonna have to edit that part out because
You
that
good.
was not.
I think that forgiveness doesn't start with other people. It starts with yourself. And when you learn to forgive yourself and you learn that you made a mistake and you accept that, you stop allowing what other people say to determine how you feel about it. Because if I've changed,
Yeah.
excuse me, if I've made changes and I've worked on these things and I know how hard I've worked for them,
Yeah.
a lot of times what people will do is they'll only see what you've been through and only see that. And if you haven't worked on that on the inside, you allow them to make you feel bad about it, you know?
Absolutely.
So I think forgiveness of yourself helps with the forgiveness from other people because they might reject you. You know what I'm saying?
and that happens.
Yeah, it does.
And you will encounter that, especially through your sobriety part. You're 100%
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. So
Mm.
I mean, I never had to forgive you.
Not for any part of that.
No. That was a you problem.
I like that.
That was a you thing. That ain't had nothing to do with Malia. I was affected by certain things, but not to the point where I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm never talking to her again. Or, oh my gosh, I cannot deal with this. It was moments where I knew I couldn't be around you.
Yeah.
So that I didn't say anything mean or
Yeah.
lash at you because I was upset and then it's not often, but you know, there was those moments where I'm like,
No, it got, yeah.
Nina.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
real?
No, like, if I could say the word,
You know what I'm saying?
what you doing?
Oh, for
I'm just
real.
saying.
Like I've had those moments,
We had that.
but I never had to like sit down with God and say, God, help me forgive this person. I never had to do that because our friendship was always genuine. And even through your addiction, our friendship still remained genuine.
100%.
Now, the moments in time where we dealt with things that just I don't like to deal with in my friendships, those are things that we faced. But outside of that, I never had to forgive you for going through things or making choices in your own life. That was your life. And you're allowed to make whatever choices you want to make. I personally can do what I want to do with that information. So either you as the person, like maybe you have a person or a friend or a family member
Right.
that you love that's going through this and you're like, how do I deal with this? I'm so angry. Why are they doing this? You may have to find room or space in yourself, especially if you don't want to give up on them, to say you're allowed to blow it all to hell. You're allowed to do that, and I'm allowed to love you from over here, but still love you. I'm allowed to set boundaries.
100%.
You're allowed to not always make great choices and maybe even fall short.
Absolutely.
And you're allowed to get it right.
Yeah.
You're allowed to get it right because a lot of people think, well, I've been here so long, well, I can't get it right. People ain't gonna see. It don't matter if they
100%.
see.
That's where I was at. Yeah.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
Like when I say it don't matter, and not because I've been there, but because I've watched my friend go through it. I've watched other people go through it. And I think that everybody deserves that. Like genuinely deserves that.
And an addict is not going to get better unless they have that kind of environment around them.
No enabling.
No. There's a difference.
I know. And that's why I said that. But no enabling.
No.
Because people enable a lot.
And
They do.
Addicts are crafty manipulators. They are the world's finest. They will
are.
talk you out your drawers, everything.
Yeah.
Have you standing there naked and thinking that you did it for yourself.
Yeah.
And you didn't do it.
Yeah.
And so you got to understand that is that is how, mind you, it doesn't like just start off like that either.
Mm-hmm.
It gets there because you are trying to constantly, the same way that tolerance builds
Compensate.
up, you are constantly going to need resources to get to what you want. And so you begin to manipulate and learn, oh, that didn't work and I still need it. So what am I going to do to get, and it just becomes a part. And I promise you, if I didn't have that there, I don't think that I would have gotten sober because I needed that. I needed somebody there to also say,
It's okay.
I love you because it didn't start off like I think a lot of people. Somebody had asked that, which is why I said it'll be a story time. But asked me how it actually started, and it didn't start the way people would think it started. It didn't start like that, and I actually wasn't even on the hardcore stuff until somebody slipped me something else.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being fentanyl.
Mm-hmm.
And so people don't actually know.
Oh, I was pissed. I was mad. But anyway,
Listen,
we'll get
another
into
time,
that.
another day.
Cause what?
But it's true. Somebody slipped me something and lied to me
Yeah.
intentionally so that I would buy from them. So it point of the story, I gave up on myself.
Yeah.
If I hadn't had somebody in my corner to tell me, I love you, I know you, and
You're better than this.
man,
And you'll come through it.
I
Speak life into people. And that's on a large scale. Like I say to my kids, you know, you gotta talk like you mean it.
yeah,
And you have sometimes even in their bad times, I have to say, I believe in you.
remind them.
Like you are loved, you know, because people need to hear it.
We're people. We're people.
They need
And
to hear it.
everybody's got their own mistakes too.
Yeah.
So like whereas somebody's vice might not be addiction, somebody's vice might be lying or something else. You know what I'm saying? That might be there, so it might not be.
Procrastination is an addiction too. Oh, but anyway,
I'm just saying.
there are a lot of levels of addiction out here. Okay.
Boop boop.
Okay, so next question. People judge my parenting style. They say strict is not the answer. But I also have different standards that are higher than other people. What are your thoughts on today's parenting?
And when they were saying that too, they were being judged by everybody, family, friends. And so I tried to phrase that in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe in being strict.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that there needs to be a standard, especially in today, because there is no standard.
Mm-hmm.
People doing anything and everything. Kids are out here a hot mess. And then we see the effects and the consequences of it by them later on in life. They're rude, disrespectful, don't want to work, don't want anything for themselves. There's no respect towards anybody.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I had to have that guideline. And one issue that I did have, though, is from the trauma that I did experience, I was always trying to control something. So at times I would go a little bit overboard. And that's another thing to having healthy people around you to be able to help you see exactly like maybe, that wasn't maybe.
Friend.
Yeah. Bounce. Come here for a minute.
Hold
You know what I'm
friend.
saying? Like, And so it
But-
wasn't intentional.
But I think how you say something to anyone
Yeah.
makes or breaks something.
That's
Because
good.
you very well may need to hear exactly what they're saying to you. Understand parenting comes with no rule book. We all know that this is a universal thing, right?
So
But I
serious.
do think it comes with some level of guideline. And I do think it comes with a level of understanding because you've been a child yourself. And although you're not parenting yourself, you're parenting your own kids and they are different from you, there's guidelines there to kind of just give you a snippet of what right and wrong is. And I'll do like this because everybody has their own definition.
Yeah.
I think you should trust your children to do right and wrong. I think you should learn your children. I think you should learn their personalities, what they like, what they don't like, what they're into, whether
Yeah,
it be good
absolutely.
or bad, ups and downs, because that right there will help you manage the child versus the emotion. And sometimes as a parent, I'm guilty. As a parent, we get emotional and we're frustrated. We're frustrated and we're like, forget this.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I mean. And we're very stern, we're very strict. But also, do you come back? Do you come back to your children and have conversations that say, hey, you know what, baby, I was wrong earlier. I didn't have to yell at you. Or, you know what I said was mean. But here's my reasoning. Or
Absolutely. Owning
here's
it.
where I'm coming from.
Yep.
And I don't want you to feel like that, even though maybe I've made you. Owning it. Owning the moments that are like irate and high energy. Own those moments with your kids so that they can understand that when they have those moments, they have to do the same thing too. They have to do when they're
100%.
in trouble, when they have things going on, they need to be able to own it and say, "Mama, I was wrong.
Because they're
Daddy,
modeling
I was
after
wrong."
you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So I think whoever this is, if you are parenting your children for your children, don't worry about what other people have to say.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to find you better people who care about you. And you're gonna have to
that's
find better
good.
people who care about your children, and so they can speak life into you and
won't be
speak life into
derogatory.
your children and to love on your children. Just last night,
Yeah.
telling her baby how to say substitute. But outside of that, to spend time
You need
doing
community.
things. Yes, what they call it, the village. Because I don't know about y'all, but I got a great village. Like my people,
You must.
gotta get y'all one of them. 'Cause
No.
I have a great village, and I have people who all have different strong suits,
Correct.
and all my children get to be poured into by the women that I keep around. And I'll say women because it's
That's so
majority
good.
women, and they pour into my children in their own ways. My son listens to my sister better, far as like things that come as a boy. She has that natural niche where it just works better for her. Granted, do I come in and stump ground and say, "Mama said," yeah, but at the same time, him learning from someone else or someone who loves him and loves me,
Ain't a bad thing.
no, it's not. And you got to understand that you can't do it all and you don't know it all. That's the
Ooh.
part of having guidelines and then having a rule book, you know? So,
And learning when it's actual parenting and like you trying to make a standard or whether it's you trying to control something. Like trying to differentiate on whether, because that was an issue that I had and I wasn't aware. Like those traumas had me to build up certain walls that I didn't know were walls or prison gates. And I'll call them prison gates because we were all trapped inside of there.
Yeah.
Me, myself, my kids, and anybody else that wanted to deal with us.
Yeah.
Because I was not willing to let things that happened to me
happen to them. But your children will show you who they are.
And that's the other part, though,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that they're people.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that I was not, and we talked about that too. I wasn't at a place to where I could trust my children, even though they were good, amazing kids. My kids are awesome. My kids are awesome. The older three, though, I was not at a healthy place to be able to trust them because I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust nobody
They
around
went
me.
through a lot with you too. Like with you, like what you went through, they went with you.
It was, yeah,
So I think that played a part too.
100%. And then older three, though, I was not at a
Yeah.
healthy place. Another time, another to trust them. But it
Yeah.
just, it's just nobody around me. It'll backfire on you. So I
Kids
think
will
you have to
jump
be aware
quicker.
for that. Yeah, you got to be really aware of that. And then having healthy people like you in my corner. That wasn't it. Our relationship was never judgmental or da 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 da.
Right.
It wasn't like a drill team.
Yeah.
It was more like, friend.
Yeah.
Yo, look, I'm gonna tell you, this ain't, you can do this better because I see you handle this, this, and this better. So how about this? How about we try this? Or this is what they said. And mind you, and this is where I give 100% and props to her too. She allowed me to be mama.
Oh yeah.
She
for
did
sure.
not take it from me and take my authority because she didn't think I was, and she also didn't downplay me in front of my kids neither.
Absolutely not.
It was a point of,
Hey, but listen to that, mom. I don't care if she acting crazy right now. Listen to your mama.
and we had them times.
yeah.
But we had the balance too, to where it'd be like, they went to bed and be like, look, this is what I saw. This is what I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe
If you would have tried it a little bit softer.
100%. So somebody who might, just for the person, maybe somebody else is watching that has to talk to somebody else maybe that is in your position. If on the flip side, if you do feel like you're encountering somebody who is too strict or something like that, maybe how the techniques to how you're communicating to them can be done better.
Yes.
So that they can hear you and not feel like you are trying to parent for them, but that you're just trying to give tools to see how maybe you can do things differently. I think that's a big approach is big on that too.
It is. I think also you have to have that safe space with that person.
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
So like us, I can flat out tell you, Nina, I ain't like that. I can say that to you and you know that it doesn't come from an evil place. Whereas maybe someone else who I'm not as close with, I may be like, hey, like I'll probably feel them out first because I want to say it, but maybe not, I don't want to hurt them either. Because they're, obviously when we're going through a lot like that, when you're high stress, you're already feeling feelings.
Yeah.
And so my goal is never to come in and badger you. My mother, my sister, people have had to come, Malia, stop yelling. Stop yelling. And you know, I have to sit down and say, you know what, you're right. Do I yell? Yes, still yell. But I've learned how to use my voice in different temperatures. So when I'm yelling, screaming, that's fine too. But my kids also know that I can bring it down. And like when I'm talking to them,
that's
like
the majority now.
Yeah.
So if you take me there,
then that's what it is. But that's just accountability. You know, that's just accountability on their side and on yours of saying, okay, dang, that is something that's affected them. You know, I talk to my kids, like flat out. What you think? My kids are 5. How old them kids is? 9 and 10. They just made 9 and 10. We sit and talk and have real conversations. They can ask me whatever they want to ask me.
As you should with your children. Have conversations with them.
But I think also sometimes, as far as the word strict doesn't always mean restraint.
Ooh.
Okay? I'm very stern, very assertive in what I say, and I mean exactly that. But what I also have learned is that they have the opportunity to do kid stuff. Why shouldn't they be able to? So what I teach them matters, 1. But 2, I have to trust that what I've taught, even if they get it wrong, is in here. It's in there. Whether it takes a certain situation to make them be like, aha, I get it. Whatever. I trust that though. Because I know that I didn't teach them nothing wrong. And so that takes away from feeling like you're failing. Because you're not necessarily failing just because your kids are doing certain things.
Absolutely not.
Your kids.
They're people who are going to make their own decisions. 100%.
And so how you love them through the moments of making mistakes or not choosing well all the time matters just as much as the punishment or the conversation before or after, whatever. All of those things matter, you know? So I be trying to slow down.
Yeah.
So if I can give any advice on that, it would be to stay strict, stand on your boundaries, your
standards, and
your
standards
morals,
are who you are.
Stand on those.
Mm-hmm.
But give some room in your heart for them to make mistakes and you not feel so bad about it.
Because it's not your fault.
Yeah.
If they do something and
especially
you did the
if
work.
you're doing right.
Yeah.
Please, baby, don't let nobody tell you nothing different.
No, absolutely not.
Don't let people alter your brain chemistry all because of what they do with their kids. And if you watch, sometimes the same people that'll tell you how to raise your kids, the kids act crazy. And they have no respect. You have some very respectful kids. Now, they done some stuff? Yes. But I always have said, like, far as respectfulness to adults or even just to me, I don't know about anybody else, but to me, always have been respectful, always use their manners. They use kind words.
Yeah, but you're that's the same way. I think that's how we raise them.
Yeah, that's a testament to how they're raised, though.
100%.
You know, it's a testament to that. So even if your kids get older and they're upset with you, a lot of the things that you taught them, they'll still use.
And I want to say one thing too. So I grew up with people that their parents were their friends. And it wasn't until we were older that we could see the effects of it. They don't have a great relationship with their parents because their parents let them do anything and everything and anything happened to them. Mm-hmm. So even though I was real upset, I could only go to your house, maybe it was only like 3 people's houses for real. And I couldn't stay the night nowhere.
Girl, I could go to yours. I ain't had nobody else to go to.
For real, this was life. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about strict, we understand the standard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how we are now, you can see our life. It resembles a quality life compared to what other people had when they were best friends with their parents. Yeah. That's not the life to live. Yeah. So we can leave that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next question. because we'll spend all day.
Yes, we will.
Kids today have gender philosophies thrown in their face all the time. From your perspective, and I want to answer this.
No, I'm glad.
How do we not entice children into those specific genres, but allow them to be who they are? Ultimately, in my opinion, certain conversations that children are having at young ages shouldn't be happening. But when they do, they're not us. So, like, our moms made us wait. But, like,
It was
for me, when sex talk comes up or parts of their anatomy comes up, things like that, we have the conversation then. Because that takes away other people being able to change their brain chemistry
Come on.
and how they think about it. So even far as sexual preference, first off, sexual belongs to adults. Let's just start there.
Thank you.
Secondly, preference is normal. What you like and don't like is normal. If my child chooses to like what they like or don't like or whatever, that's fine with me as long as they are still being true to who they are. And it's not molded by other people. It's not, oh, well, they're doing this or they like this, so I feel like I have to too. Or I don't feel like this, so I feel like it's a mind game. And honestly, I always say this, my kids' brains belong to me. Right now, at least. Them brains,
Information.
what go into them, what come out of them, I try to be that forefront person where, like, they can hear my voice. I don't care if it's loud or not. I just want to be in there. So, like, when they ask me about lesbians, like, what's a lesbian? It's a girl who likes a girl. And I mean, like, straight, just calm conversation. Not, oh my God, no, because when we unnormalize it and we make it this thing
They
where
will drive right into it.
So let's just talk about it. You know, I do think a lot of things that are in today's TV, music, everything is so geared towards making children, I don't know, like, it's like they're trying to confuse them on what they should and shouldn't like, instead of giving them an opportunity to be a child first. Like, you could be a kid, and then as you get older and you say, well, mommy, I have a feeling. And then we deal with the feeling. And we deal with what comes with those feelings. Or, hey, I'm curious about this. Those are safe spaces you create for your kids, though. You have to be able to open the door and say, these are things you may see. Or when they see those things, you say something about them. But here's my rule about it. Or here's where we're at. For my kids, we don't not talk about gay or lesbian or whatever type of stuff, but we also don't engage. They are not allowed to watch certain things,
Right.
Not because they can't learn at some point, but because their brains are small and they got enough to worry about that's something that they can hold off on. Like, they don't have to learn that now. You know, I think a lot of times, not a lot of times, sometimes you have parents, no shade, but shade, that guide their children into spaces that when they get older, they don't even understand.
Well, when we talked about that too, that's just, I see that as society preparing a path to make them comfortable, like society comfortable, so that they don't, if I make everybody else have to be comfortable with where I'm at, I do not have to change anything I'm doing.
True.
And I have a problem with that because I am not always going to, we don't always agree on everything. No one's always going to always agree on everything. We may agree on something, but I don't make you and contort the environment and build it so that I'm right in my perspective. I do have a problem with that. And I think that that's a big way that when we talk about gender philosophies, number one, I believe we got a male and female.
That ain't what you believe. That's what it is.
That's my belief and what it is.
Yeah, we're not going to beat around no bush.
No, that's what I believe, and that's what it is, 100%. Male and female. We won't even, absolutely, I believe in the Bible and what the Bible says, but even past that, I know science, and science is very biology don't lie, baby. It doesn't matter what you do and what surgery you have. It is what it is. And in the mindset of a child, I feel like so many children are being molded today by
To be
people's
confused.
opinions.
Yeah, and to be confused.
Yes, and to be confused to where this, 20 years ago? This wasn't even something that was discussed. Not
It was
because,
still in the closet.
you know what I'm saying?
I remember that saying, in the closet.
And we didn't even discuss things. So I remember it was wrong. Like in my household, we didn't even have sex. We didn't even say sex, right? Because if you said the word sex,
Like a
you was
curse
doing
word.
it. Yeah, it was a cuss word, and you was about to be knocked out till next Friday. So you didn't even say the word. You didn't ask no questions. I have an open door with my children. I am very age appropriate, but I don't want them, like we talked about last night, going to nobody else to get information.
Yes,
Because
that's
them
the
getting
one.
that might go and test it out. Might go and get that. So my children have always been able to come and talk to me. Mind you, I had twins at 16. So I had that open door relationship, and I was not going to hide. Not saying, but I also used my wrongs as a teaching tool so that they would not have to go and do things to find out the hard way.
Right.
I was open with that. But I do think that we use too much of putting children in grown people's places, that children are now becoming adults and they're not adults, and children, they need to stay in the kid's place and be a child. They shouldn't even be
You
worrying
guys
about
should
this.
allow your children to be children. It's a beautiful thing to be a
Monitor.
child. So I wanted to just add in there, I personally love the community. Okay, let me just throw that out there.
What you mean?
The gays, the lesbians. I love all them people. Okay, I genuinely love them. Only because it takes a strong person to live in whatever truth that they feel. Right, wrong, good, bad, ugly. And I'm not saying that that's something for me. But if we're loving people with the love of God, that means you love them for whoever they are, and you let God take care of whatever you may feel like doesn't work for you. My children are around people who are gay. You know what I'm saying? And we never cross the boundary of like, oh, well, she's a girl, but call her he. We don't cross that boundary. And like, even the people that I am around, they're so loving to my children, and they are very respectful. Like, if you meet real people who just, that's what they want and that's the life that they chose,
Yeah.
they're not invasive. Like, it's not like, well, what's going on in my life? You got to go on in yours, and you got to do what I say. Like, no, it's not like that. It's not like how the world makes it seem. Like, you have to accept everything. It's like, hey, this is what I like. But outside of what I like, I'm a person.
Yeah.
And that I can handle.
And
that I can handle. You know what I mean?
And I respect that. So with me, we do too.
Mm-hmm.
So we have family
Mm-hmm.
that is in the community.
Mm-hmm.
I would never
Mm-hmm.
not love
Mm-hmm.
my family,
Mm-hmm.
like the person in my family. I will love her to the day I die. I would do anything for her. She is everything to me.
Yeah.
And at the same time, she understands. Look, let me tell you how dope this is. She understands where I come from.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm established. My principles are strictly based on biblical principles, right? Where it might be different for somebody else. For her, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
That does not change my love. So I have a very clear understanding. I'm not going to not love you. That'd be like me telling my child, I don't like what you did, so now I'm taking my love away from you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Will I go and agree with what you're doing? Commend it or jump right into certain things? No, those aren't things that I would do. But I'm not going to stop loving her. I think there's a conflict with that. I'm not going to go ahead and pacify things. I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to stop loving you. And in that process, on my side, I do. I pray that there is a moment of, deliverance or coming to be, where she finds that with God and has her relationship, but at the same time, you are not going to catch me knocking her. You're not going to catch me making her feel some type of way. You're not going to catch me. And I'm not going to do that to nobody. Because at the end of the day, somebody's thing, that might be somebody's thing for that. I have my own issues. I had my addiction. I know
And
people
throw
that
stone
rob
in
and steal.
glass
I am
houses,
not
baby.
going to be the first one to do that.
Yeah.
I had people that had a boundary and a principle to say, I'm not going to do this with you because I don't agree with what you're doing.
Same thing.
And that was fine.
Yeah.
They loved me in spite of.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I address it. I wouldn't dare make nobody feel no type
Listen,
of
my
way.
best friend. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My
so that
bestie. One thing I do learn,
and I do love her, by the way.
And that's my
best
dog.
friend. Best friends.
That's my girl.
I'm just saying. So there ain't no hate and no shade. We talking about, but we being for real on this show. That's
Even
one thing
with
you're
her
gonna
though,
find.
if she was here,
100%.
she would tell you too though. Like she don't play that.
You know, but and that's the thing. We can all have this conversation, even if she was here. It would be that dope to have that conversation. That's
She
real though.
is a person that, you know, she's always very respectful, and she teaches
Yes.
girls to be girls and boys to be boys. But I think she has a little broader perspective as well. But outside of that, I think for me, what helped, and maybe this will help for other people, is I'm not saying you have to go down a rabbit hole, but sometimes if you sit with people and you inquire in a more of a student-like way, and you inquire likes, dislikes, things that make them who they are or whatever, it helps you to be a little less judgmental and
I
more
agree.
informative, to be
I
informed on like, hey, that's a thing. I didn't even know it was a thing, you know? And even though I'm not going to travel over there, at least my brain isn't so closed off
To where
that-
you hate them.
or that I treat you different because I don't agree.
I agree with that too.
You know, but I mean, personally, me, I never had a problem with it. You do what you want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. I always live by that philosophy. Like, for me, I do what I want to do. And that doesn't always mean bad things or anything like that. But what you do doesn't make me, you know, y'all heard the saying. So, just, I think for your children, though, mind what they watch.
Yes, monitor it, please. That's where most of it comes from.
Mind what they watch, yes. But also, when they're asking questions or you hear conversations, fix the conversations when you hear them.
Oh, that's good.
When you hear them say things like, yeah, because that's why you gay, and we'll fix those conversations and reiterate to them that one, they're speaking out of ignorance, but two, they also shouldn't say stuff like that because it can be offensive. Not because they have to walk on eggshells, but because you don't want to purposely offend people. You want to also be yourself, but at the same time, some of y'all kids rude. And y'all have no manners because you don't educate your kids. When we go in public and we see transgender people or stuff like that, and my kids be trying to key, I don't let them do that. That go for people with disabilities.
It's
that go
across the
all
board.
of that. Like, I
across the
correct
board.
that in the door because I don't like that, and I don't like to see adults do it, and adults do it all the time. And so if I can correct my kids and make sure that they're not a part of that type of community, like treating people bad because of their preferences in life, then that's it right there. As long as they can treat people with kindness and respect, it don't matter what they like. It don't matter who they want to be. You know what I mean? But it matters who they believe they are and being themselves.
I think, period, point blank, we talking about people.
Yeah.
Every single person has a heart, a soul, a mind.
Agreed.
And regardless to any situation you will find any person in, it don't matter what it is. Like I said, I've got my own issues. You know, and everybody, whether they say it or not, if they say they ain't got an issue, they got bad issues. I'm gonna tell you that. If they say they ain't got nothing going on, it's worse than what you even can understand. So everybody deserves respect.
They do.
And that love.
Absolutely.
That's not an option. That's not an option. So we don't do that. That's number one. That's part of proper parenting.
Agreed.
We don't run away from that.
I agree.
And with that, you dared to ask.
Yes. And we
Right.
dared to answer.
And we're gonna catch you next time.